Right, well, 2018 is over, 2019's here. You've probably seen loads of these rundowns already, so I'm not going to dwell too much on this, but I'm just going to rip through my view of 2018 just so you can get to know the kind of films and TV shows that I like a bit more. Top film is always a difficult one. It's such a long time to think about kind of, is this the best film that I've seen for a full year? But in hindsight, I think probably Raw, which at the time I remember thinking this is the most French film that I've seen since Delicatessen. It's interesting, it's weird, it's got just enough to the story to keep it going throughout, and it's about cannibalism. Honourable mention has to go to A Star Is Born. I didn't really have that much expectation of it before going in, but Lady Gaga is excellent in it. Bradley Cooper's very good. I was particularly convinced about Bradley Cooper's directing, which I wasn't expecting. It was a very well put together film. Most meh film of 2018, definitely Halloween. What a kind of non-event that was. It was just sort of there, wasn't it? It was held your attention for long enough to watch it and then pretty much moved on with your life. And the most sequel-baiting ending I can think of in recent history. But another honourable mention for most meh film of the year was Solo, the first Star Wars film that you can pretty much forget by the end of the credits. Biggest disappointment, without a shadow of a doubt, The Predator. It's like a really low budget sci-fi film, like the kind of things that the Sci-Fi Channel put on really, really late at night, but then for some reason they gave them a huge amount of budget, and they didn't change a thing about it. It's just terrible. Most surprisingly entertaining at the time, but I don't need to see it again film, The Meg. Bending over backwards to be international was fine, the jokes were fine, the concept was silly but well executed, absolutely no need for a sequel at all, hope they don't make one. Most odd wrong turn in a sequel that they're really going to pay for later, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. It felt like they got Jeff Goldblum first before they'd written the script, and they had him for half a day, so they let him just go, and then at the end of it they thought, yeah, let's make the film about whatever he just said. What did he just say? Giving themselves such problems for presumably the third film that they're going to make. It's just, I can't see how it can't be anything other than a 70s disaster movie, but with a massive budget. There's just going to be so much CG in that film, it's going to be ridiculous. I can't see how it's going to resolve. Just a massive mistake. Most peculiarly prevalent daddy issues. Tomb Raider. Pretty much all I can remember about this film is an hour and a half of Lara running around saying, "Daddy, Daddy, where's my daddy?" Which completely ruined the one thing that we knew about Lara's character, that she was independent, she was strong. All gone. Most celebrated film of the year that I very nearly hated, The Shape of Water. I tried, I went in with a fully open mind, I promise I did. I loved Sally Hawkins, I loved the flights of fancy that were kind of, coming from her mind within the rest of the film. Hated it, absolute rubbish. Best movie of the year that I'd forgotten actually came out in 2018, which I guess therefore makes it still one of the top films of the year, and I should have mentioned it first, but Coco. Disney or Disney stroke Pixar always get it right, apart from planes and apart from cars, but always get it right, and a really rewatchable, lovely film. Movie I most wanted to like but just didn't. Annihilation. Had all the cast and crew to make me love it, but the concept is poor and it just doesn't go anywhere. I'm pretty sure that if you forced the filmmakers to talk about it, they wouldn't know what it means either. Movie I deliberately didn't see it, and I'm completely fine with that. Peter Rabbit. James Corden. British actors in Hollywood, this has to happen every 3 or 4 years. They sort of regurgitate through. So James Corden's the hit man at the moment. He's been in everything for the last couple of years. He'll be in everything for the next couple of years, and then they'll move on to someone else. It's happened before. It happened with Russell Brand. But Peter Rabbit, I read the books as a kid. From the trailer, that trailer bore no resemblance to the books that I read when I was a child. Don't need to see it. Movie I didn't see, but for no real reason. Ready Player One. It just seemed to slip past me. I didn't mean for it to. I read the book and everything. I love Steven Spielberg. The problem I have with Steven Spielberg, if anything, certainly in recent years, is that he doesn't know how to handle CGI very well. Jurassic Park aside, obviously. but there's something always a bit dodgy about the CGI in his films. I'm sure I'll get to it at some point, but I'll just wait for it to come on Netflix or something. Movie that, let's face it, was never going to be any good and wasn't. Ocean's 8. I mean, nothing to do with the gender swap at all of the cast. That made no difference. The cast was great, but it's law of diminishing returns. The first time you do something, it's cool. Second time, it's a bit less cool. This is the fourth time. Come on. Movie that most squandered its acting talent and concept. Bad Times at the El Royale. The first half is great, but I really love a setup. The second half just goes all over the place. It doesn't know what it's doing, and it just the first half just sets itself up to be a great little film, and the second half is just a massive disappointment. The cast didn't know what they were doing at the end, and it just wasn't interesting. Absolute bottom of the list, and unfortunately this was the film that I saw right at the end of the year, just to cap it off. Mortal Engines. The least imaginative, most eye-rollingly predictable nonsense of the whole year, without shadow of a doubt. A story that didn't need to be told with no conviction by a cast and crew that didn't seem to believe in it. So that was that. 2018 has gone. We're in 2019. So none of this came on this channel in 2018. It's all new. I'm going to try and keep to a schedule of once a week at least, although it depends how many films I see. It might be more often than that. But next up, I think, will be The Favourite. So you'll be able to see that very soon. And then after that, Welcome to Marwen. And then after that, not really sure. Haven't seen it yet. But welcome to Uto18. Please stick about, subscribe. See you soon.